Iron Man 3.
Check.
Ladies, children, sheep. Some people call me a terrorist. I consider myself a teacher. Lesson number 1. Heroes. There is no such thing.
Alright, hello and welcome to Cineflix Network. This is our first movie review on the channel. Today we're going to be reviewing Iron Man 3. We just saw an IMAX 3D.
Opening day, Friday, May 3rd, 2013.
Damn straight. Alright, now let's tell us a little about the movie here, Jake.
Okay, so we wanted to kickstart this channel with a highly anticipated movie. We thought Iron Man 3 was a way to go. I'm sure it's going to do fantastic at the box office. Heard it's already breaking records overseas. So just a quick little summary I have on the film. Story-wise, I'm not going to give away too much. We'll go more in depth in a little bit. But this is what I have. When the violent terrorist Mandarin threatens America, Tony Stark loses everything he has. He struggles to stay alive and protect his loved ones.
Definitely. And just in case you're interested in watching some adventures at Burger King and the Regal Theater, there'll be a quick annotation right here. Get you to your blog, our video log. There's a nice little power outage and some Indian woman was a little scared.
Frightened.
So,
Iron Man 3, alright. Stars Robert Downey Jr. He obviously plays Iron Man. He's in all the movies. Gwyneth Paltrow, Tony Stark's girlfriend.
Yes.
Guy Pearce, and Ben Kingsley as the Mandarin. Or the Mandarin.
Now as this movie started out, you don't have the typical, 20-minute Marvel intro of all bunch of stupid...
No, I love the intro. Personally, I thought it was, great.
I thought it got nice to the point, not like much of the Spider-Man movies Marvel used to release.
Yeah,
It took 30 minutes to get into the movie.
The intro, the Marvel logo didn't even come up or anything. Or, what was it, Paramount? I don't know. It just said, Tony Stark was talking about, what happened to him, and then he's like, alright, let me back up a bit. And then the song Blue Yabba Dee Yabba Die played. I don't know why I found it so funny, I just thought it was cool.
And apparently since Iron Man 2, no, not Iron Man 2, The Avengers, he went a little cuckoo and started,
he's having anxiety attacks and just having, flashbacks.
He's been going loopy, and he's sleeping.
From going through the wormhole and all, just, experiencing that whole New York phenomenon. And,
he also got a little bit into suit making. He made over 40.
Yeah, it was 42, Mark 42, what he was wearing. So yeah, that was pretty crazy. That's all he's really doing with himself. He has a hobby of making suits. So, what do you think of the movie?
Honestly, I think that it was a very good film if you're into action movies and superheroes.
Yeah, but also, if you're into comedy, I think this is a movie that everyone could get into because, there's a little bit of drama, a little bit of comedy, a little bit of action.
Yeah, it definitely flipped genres a few times in the movie.
Yeah, a whole mixture of everything. So I think there's something that everyone can enjoy. It's a great summer action movie. I don't think it was perfect. It had its flaws, but it was a great summer action popcorn flick. And I guess that's all that we really expected.
Pretty much all you can say about it. I mean, it was definitely, for me, once again, we saw it in IMAX 3D. Now, down to the CGI and the 3D. Mm-hmm. Now, the IMAX was incredible. And the CGI and time they put into this movie, you can definitely tell they put a shitload of work into it.
Yeah. During the credits, all the names that popped up.
Oh, yeah.
At least for 20 seconds, all the names for the CGI. It was pretty incredible.
Yeah, they had at least
I have to
80 people.
Applaud them for doing such a great job. Usually CGI is either good or bad. In this movie, it worked. It was great.
Definitely.
They took their time, I see. And yeah, I enjoyed the CGI in this film.
And in case you're curious...
What do you think of the 3D before we get into anything else?
The 3D in itself was pretty good, honestly. If you want to go see it in IMAX, you don't think $18 is worth it, I honestly think you should just go.
Yeah, 3D, some bits here and there, it wasn't all popping at you, but in some scenes it was kind of cool.
Yeah, honestly, IMAX and live action movies, you don't really want the 3D. You more want the quality of the actual picture is phenomenal.
Mm-hmm. And the action scene in the end, I just think is the worth
and
the
we're
price
gonna
of
get that in the
admission.
spoilers in the last.
Yeah, but it was just a phenomenal action
Now, I
sequence.
also want to talk about a newer character they've established in a younger kid. I don't think they gave a name for him, actually. Did they? I don't think they gave him a name. But
I know, I could look it up, but
if
go
they
ahead.
did, it wasn't very important.
Go ahead.
So, basically, when Tony Stark's house is attacked, he finds shelter somewhere in Tennessee where Jarvis flew him there for God knows what.
His name was Harley.
Oh, his name was Harley, definitely.
Ty Simpkins. I've heard of him. Was he the kid in Insidious? I don't know. But that's off topic. That's irrelevant.
That's relevant.
Continue.
Don't go stop. And this kid eventually helps him out. Kid apparently some form of tinkerer of his own, just as Tony Stark is.
With his potato gun and whatnot.
Tried killing him.
Yeah. So he helps Tony Stark along the way. Tony Stark, he struggles with losing everything. The Mandarin destroys his home, all of his armor, so he's kind of just left with one set of armor.
Which, no power.
The movie, humor, did you like it?
The humor in it was a little bit forced, I think, just as you were saying earlier.
Forced at times.
It was really in your face, but it was pretty funny, a lot of scenes that we had.
Yeah, it seemed like they were just like, alright, let's just throw a joke in there and make them laugh. The theater was laughing though, like cracking up.
Yeah, they were all cracking up, because they weren't actually...
I laughed, but not as much as the other. Mandarin's voice. You'll never see me coming.
You'll never see me coming. I don't even know what he's talking like. It was a little bit like Bane, you know, that kind of creepy voice they've been using. Like the Joker,
yeah,
too.
they're both terrorists. I mean, a lot of people are comparing him to Bane, but I don't really think they're that similar. I mean, they both have very funky voices. But
I mean, looks alike, absolutely nothing, but they just have...
complete opposite, actually, pretty much.
They have funky... I don't believe Mandarin was ever in the Iron Man comic book.
The plane sequence, kind of... talking about Batman, Bane... The plane sequences, which did you like better, the one in The Dark Knight Rises or Iron Man 3?
Dark Knight Rises, that was one of the most iconic scenes of the movie, I believe.
Yeah, the opening. But this plane sequence in this film, I thought was pretty cool.
Yeah, it was pretty cool, but it doesn't compare to Bane's.
Yeah, but it was almost up to par with that, I think.
Once again, we're not comparing the Dark Knight Rises to Iron Man 3. So,
acting?
The acting in it, Tony Stark, obviously... Tony Stark's name is not Tony Stark. Robert Downey Jr. did a tremendous job. He always has his little comedy in there and has fun with it.
Comic relief. Guy Pearce, also, he did pretty good, I thought, in my opinion. Ben Kingsley.
Had a very nice serious role. Ben Kingsley, once you see the movie, you'll...
Yeah, we're not going to talk too much about him, but he was interesting, that's all I'm going to say.
We'll leave
Gwyneth Paltrow, fine. And that's pretty much it for this movie. Overall opinion on the film, I thought it was great. Summer action film. Not quite what I wanted story-wise. I thought there could have been a little bit more. So my overall grade on this film will be an 8 out of 10. What do you think?
Once again, it was a great summer popcorn action movie. For the average movie watcher, you'll enjoy it a lot if you go out with your kids.
Definitely.
Language a little. It's PG-13, so I don't know if you'll bring your kids or not.
A little violent, but I mean, I think they can handle it.
It is to a few words. Maybe we'll include that later.
So your rating, same as mine.
My rating, 8 out of 10. I think we discussed it earlier. And on Cineflix Network, we're gonna
combine them,
but obviously 8 and 8.
For this film, 8 and 8.
It's 8 out of 10. So that's our official Cineflix review.
Yeah, it's not gonna be like that every time. But now we're gonna get into some spoilers. So if you have not seen Iron Man 3,
or you have intent of seeing Iron Man 3,
please
then I would
stop watching right now.
We're gonna give 5 seconds to cut out, and then we're gonna start talking about spoilers.
Yeah, so
5,
please leave.
4,
you do not want this spoiled.
Boom, spoilers. Alright, now Ben Kingsley, Mandarin, this big, badass, tall character who's crazy.
I'm a little...
Jake didn't like it, so I'm going to let him let out his rage in about 20 seconds.
Proceed, my friend.
Before he over-exaggerates it.
Over-exaggerates.
When Tony Stark comes in with his gun about to, pop a cap in Mandarin, he comes
out... His ass.
Mandarin was an actor from Britain and had a very goofy voice and was talking about him taking a dump. And he said that he was addicted to a wide variety of narcotics. And
drinking beer, just like lounging, watching a soccer game. He had like a British accent. He was a bum. Probably the worst twist I've ever one of the worst twists. I thought it was terrible. This badass, hyped up character turns out to be an actor.
All these crazy ass
Name, what the hell was his name? Trevor?
Trevor.
It doesn't matter about his last name, but I thought it was such a cop-out. I mean, they hyped this guy so much, and it turns out he's not even the villain. He's just a bum actor.
But, once again, this does compare to Bane, because Bane was not the main... He was a villain in Shirley, but it wound up being Amanda Tate, who happened to be the real
Bane
villain.
just got, like, killed off. He got shot with a tank, and
Aldrich Killian, who was was the actual
turned out to
Mandarin.
be the main villain, which, I thought Mandarin would have been cooler, but that's just me. I think.
But then when you go
they're
back
the
and think, Mandarin may not have done such a good part, because a lot of the scenes would
he would have just like gotten punched in the face by an Iron Man and probably brain dead.
But I would like to talk about something else. This is a lot like X-Men Origins, what they did. If you don't remember X-Men Origins Wolverine, what they did...
I don't really remember it, so...
was a lot through the movie. Logan, Jimmy's brother, obviously, he would take the mutants' powers away from them and then cap them on this island. So it was a lot like that, except the only power they inserted in them was an ability to regrow things, and it was kind of it was a little bit like in The Amazing Spider-Man when the Doctor could regrow his hand with the lizard thing. And pretty much embers and stuff would pop out of their hands and reform their hand, they'd be fine. And that could also heat their hands up and stuff to like punch through metal walls and melt stuff. It was pretty crazy.
I thought it was cool, but I mean, like, I don't know. I mean, like, they were almost indestructible, and like, I don't know how Tony Stark killed them all.
Yeah, and they'd spontaneously combusted sometimes if they got too hot, but they like...
Yeah, just blow up, right?
Yeah, it was interesting. And,
hold on, I just gotta... What else?
Aldrich Killian in the end. And now we're gonna get to the by far my favorite scene in the entire movie. When Tony Stark, who we talked about earlier, went crazy and started tinkering with all of his Iron Man suits. He made 42, and I believe it was called Slumber Party Protocol. He recorded to Jarvis.
Yeah, he's like, we need backup. He's like, I got that covered or whatever. And then a bunch of Iron Men just come flying in. Jack was like, holy shit. I knew because I saw the trailer, but I mean, I don't think you did.
I didn't watch the trailer because a lot of time is spoiled. But they had all kinds of them. They had big ones, small ones.
Hulkbuster, I think one of them was called. I don't know. I just
they had
read that.
Skinny ones, crazy ones. It was just ridiculous. And
I thought that action scene was phenomenal. Probably one of the best I've ever seen, period. It was very long. I thought it was a little far-fetched, like a little over-exaggerated. Don't you think, or no? Like with him jumping and like, landing on an Iron Man. And just, I don't know. It was a little far-fetched.
Well, I only thought it was pretty cool.
And like when they, like the explosions and they went back in slow motion, like they should have died.
I know that in Iron Man 2 he had a few suits, but he maybe had 5 tops. And
and like in this film, like when he just calls it and it shoots out and like...
Yeah, he made a new one where he puts sensors in his arms where he can call his Iron Man suits by doing a weird little hand just like, wah.
Yeah, it could be like from China, it'll just fly like at rocket speed. But I thought it was pretty cool. That part, is that really it? I guess for spoiler talk.
Basically.
Trying to think.
That was basically all the spoilers.
Yeah, I think we covered everything.
Alright, and that looks like it's going to be it for our first Cineflix Network review.
Iron Man 3.
Iron Man 3.
So, if you've seen this film, please leave, be sure to leave your thoughts on it down below in the comment section. Tell us what you liked, what you didn't like, anything you want about this movie. Be sure to subscribe. Spread the word, tell your friends, grandparents, whatever,
definitely.
whoever you
That looks like it's going to be the end of this video. See you guys later.
Signing off. I don't know what I just did, but, yep, see ya.
And I don't want to get too into the actual while we were at the movie theater, but I would just like to comment when I was trying to open my bag of M&Ms, the gentleman next to me saw I was having a hard time, and he's like, hey, you want a knife there, buddy? And assuming it was a joke, I started laughing. I was like, haha, yeah. And this dude, I kid you not, he pulls out a 12-inch blade in the middle of a movie theater. He's like, here you go, try not to cut yourself. I was like, the hell? And honestly, I have a feeling this...
You got them M&M.
They got open. Actually, I have them in my bag over there.
Yeah.
And, honestly, I have a feeling he could get some serious jail time for that. 1, for pulling out a giant-ass knife in the middle of a movie theater. And 2, for handing it to a 13-year-old.
Alright.